Yeah, I was just playing that Live 95. I got that. Actually, I bought two. I had one of the Genesis was in the Yankee swap that we did
Hmm.
Christmas, and then I bought the original Genesis. So
Shit. Where the hell do you find those things?
there's two. What's crazy is there's two spots out this way. One in Easton called the guy named it after the store after himself, and then the other one is Land of Electronics. And they got like
Hmm.
every like old system. They got regular Nintendo, Super Nintendo, all that stuff. Yeah, so I was
Yeah.
like, I definitely had to grab that up.
Oh man. That's some nostalgia for you. That's that's
Yeah,
that's a time tunnel type shit, dog.
right.
Yo. What?
I mean, playing these shits, looking like, yo, this was the shit to us back then, and then you're looking at it now, like, oh, we was really excited about this, but
Yo, listen. I
still,
mean, pause. Remember we blowing in cartridges, though. Like,
yeah,
you know what I'm saying? When your joint wouldn't start up, yeah.
yeah. I just had to do that. I just had to do that.
Oh, word.
Yeah. So
Yo, that's dope.
yeah,
Spawn Minds listeners, viewers, we in the pre-show, man. Me and Payne hanging out talking about old school games, which is pretty dope, man. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? But tonight, man, we're talking about just the whole idea around centered around traveling and like what that's like in your prime and how necessary, how important, you know what I'm saying, it is, dream trips, all that kind of stuff we're gonna be talking about, you know what I'm saying? So, we're gonna wait for Capo to get on, man. But yeah, man, how was your week? Everything going on? How's everything? How's
uh,
nephew? You know what I mean?
chilling, chilling, man. You know, I've been out for a while. These fucking allergies are driving me nuts. I was supposed to be back last week, and I don't know
Yeah,
what the hell I had, but I
yeah.
had a fever from Thursday to Saturday night. So,
This change of
something,
weather too, though, man.
yeah. So I don't know if I caught it from, the little guy, or I just caught it from the change of weather because he was sick for a minute too.
Oh, okay, okay. All right. Well, yeah, that would make a difference then. Definitely.
Yeah. So I forgot about that. How often you get sick when you got little ones.
Yep. And being sick in like warm climate, like when it gets warm out, is terrible. Like being sick is only for like the winter type shit. No, it's definitely not for. No, definitely not for that. You know what I'm saying? Um, but let me ask you, when you get into, actually, I'm gonna save it for the show. I don't want to start talking about that right now. Talking about the show now. But man, it's felt like the longest, shortest week ever for some reason. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Okay. So it wasn't just me. I felt like that too. Like,
Yeah.
wait, this week's flying by, but it's dragging. Like, how the fuck is that happening?
Dog, we had Monday off, and it definitely felt like it. I'm like, yo, Friday's finally here. Like, it's crazy. It's crazy. And today at my job was bring your kid to work day.
Oh,
So
wow.
yeah, yeah. Shout out to our commissioner, man. She's trying to get build community and get people like clicking on the same page. So I talked Jacayla into coming with me to work today,
I
and
was just about to ask you that. You know, teenagers don't be wanting to do shit.
dog, this it's gonna cost me a trip to Alta later. You know what I'm saying? But like it is what it is. But she came out and she actually stayed longer than I expected to. Like I was expecting her to call me like around 11 o'clock and stuff. Like, Daddy, what's up? And she waited till about noon, like 12:30 ish. You know what I'm saying? I finished up. I was at my last inspection, and she called me like, "Yo, ready to go."
Yeah.
My God, you know what I'm saying? But nah, it was a cool thing, and she was definitely the small. She was the oldest kid there, and she was
Oh,
like,
really?
"Yeah, it was like all like 5, 6 year olds. Like it wasn't like a,
Oh, kid, kid.
So yeah, it was kids." So what most kids her age do, they be on their phone and they got freaking headphones. She got some beats and they just sit there and do that.
Yeah.
Mike Nice.
Mike Nice.
Mike Nice. What's good? What's good?
Yeah, I can't. We can't have that at my job just because I work around fucking a dangerous chemical. So they will never have bring your kid to work day at my job.
Right, right. Well, like again, and some people thought really like at first I think my parents was like, well, yo, is she gonna be like is she gonna be like riding with you while you're doing inspections? I'm like, no, she's not riding with me while I'm doing inspections. Like that's just sitting in the car. Like, I mean, I guess it's sitting at a desk at a table in the office, but I'm like, that ain't the same thing, and she ain't gonna want to do that shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like nah,
Especially like some of them the stuff you got to see, like a teenage girl gonna be like, yeah, no, I'm not going in there.
Oh man, like I don't see how some people do it, man. Like it's a lot of I know Chuck hates this word. It's a lot of people who need like some sort of mental health, like something, because some of the stuff that people are going through when you go inside in people's homes and like they're like, yo, like you live here like with a kid, you got the house looking like this, you let it get like this, where it's and then you wonder why you may have a mice problem or a rodent problem or like you got shit everywhere. Like, what the hell are you doing?
Like I get grossed out sometimes with stuff I see at work too, and you think to yourself that the same way you just thought, like, how do you let it get like that? But you got to think too. You got to think that
Yikes.
when I know for me, when I get like depressed or in a bad mood, I don't feel like doing shit. So if someone's stuck in that kind of a rut times 10 for like a long period of time, I can see how that happens. But it still makes your skin crawl, like if you're not used to something like that.
Yeah. No, I mean, listen. I mean, I understand we all go through, and I definitely understand because most of us sometimes we shut down when things are going. I think my thing is just like, yo, when you got children, I guess and again, it's different for everyone. Like, just try to find the joy in that and find the motivation for them, if not for yourself, just for them, maybe. You know what I'm saying? Like, and there's some situations where, like, I be talking to people and like, sometimes like I find myself like being like a counselor or like it's definitely more than just being a home inspector because you just never know what people are like going through. You know what I'm saying? Like, personally. Hey, Poker P, Miss Dope in real life. Shout out to the Pim Freaks.
I need them pictures, Poker. You and Dex need to send me them pictures ASAP. So we got a little merch thing happening for Heart Boxing, and there are
Hey, talk
bottles.
about it.
So we gotta get that cracking. You know what I mean? So we got some. I mean, I can put it out there now that I have the stock. So
Talk about it. Yeah, talk about it, dog. Come on.
Basically, couples T-shirts. So it's a lot of mostly women. I've never heard of dudes wanting to dress like alike with their woman, but women like to match and stuff like that when they go out or whatever. These are along that line. So you get 2 T-shirts for $45. The front of the ladies' T-shirt says "I'm his her." The front of the men's T-shirt says "I'm her him," and then we got the Heart Boxing logo on the back. So we'll be posting those soon. As soon as they give me the pictures, we're gonna get the ad together, start posting it, and we're gearing up for season 3. I was about to say 2 for some reason, but you know what I mean. So
I was about to say, yeah, give us a give us a quick, not quick, but just talk to us about season 3. What is that gonna be about? Like, you know what I'm saying?
season 3, just continuing with the normal theme of the show. We're gonna throw a couple new surprises in there, a couple new games that we came up with. But yeah, just keeping with the trend of getting people to step outside the box and and try something new with dating, because a lot of people are trying the same thing. Yeah. And it's insanity, right? Like, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result. And that's what people are doing and not trying something new. Like, if your type is tall, brown skin with a beard, that's a thug, and you're constantly getting your heart broken, why don't you try something different? You know what I mean? For a change. Your type doesn't seem to be working. It might be what you're attracted to. You might find yourself attracted to something else. So I absolutely am not a chooser on this season. Sorry. Not getting me in trouble. So.
Well, okay, all right. So then I'll leave that alone then, because I know there was some rumors. Between the end of last season and before this season that Gretzky made the board. You know what I'm saying? Like,
that's a rumor and propaganda perpetrated by poker.
Is that okay? So that's pretty much like how we've been gassing up Hightower for the high five. Is it one of those things, like it's talked about, but it's never gonna happen?
Not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen for a couple reasons. So that's not happening.
Okay, all right. We'll leave that.
Shout out to Hank on the check-in too. I didn't want to pass that over.
No. I mean, I want to. There was some good comments.
Tanisha said, "Short king season." I don't know nothing about that, Tanisha.
What does that mean? What does she mean by that?
Oh, from when we were talking about people being depressed and not cleaning and stuff like that, and the kids could be causing the depression, which is true.
Yes. Oh, very true. Very true. Definitely very true.
Because your kids will drive you nuts.
Yep.
At some point.
Hank, aka Marcus, on the check-in. Make sure you go check out All Love on Prime Video on Tubi. You know what I'm saying? Go watch that.
Yeah. I gotta rewatch too. I haven't seen that in a while. So
yeah, I'm about due. I mean, I bought it on Prime. You know what I mean? So it's there to watch anytime. Toya, what's going on, family? How you doing? Everything good? Yeah, man. We're just cooling out. You know what I mean? We're just talking about, tonight's gonna be talking about just traveling, man, and what that's like in your prime. So it should be a real good one. Man.
Oh, real quick before I hit this theme song button real quick. Let's remind them, one, go check out Turnbuckle Talk for all the wrestling fans.
Let's get some promo. Yes.
Check that out on YouTube. Check out Grove Hall. Set your clock for this Sunday, 6:50 p.m. And also, me, Maine, EJ from Turnbuckle Talk, and Charlie Hustle did a mock draft for the NFL, which is going on tonight, tomorrow, and Sunday. Go check that out. Let us know how we did.
Well, we didn't do all rounds. We just did round one. And it was a really fun, dope experience, trying to just give you guys more good content. We had a lot of fun with it. We'll be looking to continue this trend with the NBA draft when that happens up. So yeah, definitely looking forward to doing more content like that. We had a fun time. It was fun. I mean, and I was looking over my paper today, and I was like, yeah. I said, it's cool. You know what I mean? The players that I did pick did get drafted in the first round. Unfortunately, they just went to other teams. You know what I'm saying? But definitely every player that I picked went in the first round except for one player.
Yeah, I think I nailed all my picks except for, like, they didn't go to the exact teams, all of them. I think 2 or 3 of them did, but the rest of them went right around where I picked. So I was like, all right. That's not bad.
No. I think we did good, man. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, yeah, man. Well, I mean, it's Friday night. You know what time it is, man. Like, more time. Like Swiss Beats say, showtime.
Hey, yo. Don't that white. No muzzle. Sparring Minds live every Friday. Let's go. Look, it's Sparring Minds. If you don't know the name, look us up. You know it's all facts when you got Chef Maine cooking up a couple of brothers who know all about the struggle, black excellence. You know we just work hard and hustle. Whenever you want that urban talk, you know we keep it real. Mr. Maritime on the mic. Yeah, you know the deal is real life. Hotel High Tower bringing you the feel. DJ Payne, keep it 100. Matter of fact, keep it a mill. Let's go.
Yo.
So shout to Kurt on the check-in.
CB, big bro up in Canada right now, hanging out, cooling. You know what I mean? You know, so yeah, man. Real quick.
Traveling. He's up in Canada. What part of Canada he up? Oh, he said Toronto.
Yeah, he's up in Toronto. Yep. Your Eagles did good. I can't front. I think they got the guy from Georgia. They got the defensive end from Georgia. I thought was it so. Georgia?
I think so. Yeah.
I think so. Yeah, they got one of the defensive ends from Georgia. So yeah, your Eagles. Some guys don't miss with the draft, man. I'm telling you, some guys just don't miss. You know what I'm saying? But Capo is running fashionably late, we believe. And Little had some things going on at the home front, and Hightower is jet setting. You know what I mean? Well, no, I know. I think baby girl went to the HBCU tour. So that's what he's on. Yep. So I know that's what he was on.
What up, AD? What up, Rich?
AD, Rich, what's going on? All right, man. So, the theme of the night, man, is we just discussing how travel can reignite the prime and discuss how cultures help define purpose and rejuvenate daily life. What do you think about that? When you think about traveling, right? Like vacations and stuff like that, like what's your instant thought that comes to your mind? What is it you look forward to most?
Anytime I travel, the first thing I think of is I'm going somewhere warm because I hate cold weather. So
okay,
I got a bucket list of places and I'm pretty sure everybody else does, but like if it was a percentage of it, I think maybe 3% of it is cold weather places. So like
bucket list places to go to is cold weather places?
Like I think 3% of that list is
3% of it. Got you. Okay.
The rest of it is warmer. So
okay.
Yeah, I'm not doing the cold. Not on purpose.
All right, so let's talk about it then, man. What's the best trip if you can remember off the top of your head and you don't drink or you don't smoke, so your memory should be pretty solid on this one. What's the best trip you think you've ever taken as a kid?
As a kid?
Yeah, can you remember the best trip you take? Can you go back that far?
I've never really traveled outside the country like that. I went on one trip out of the country on a cruise my whole life, and now I'm about to start doing out of the country stuff more. But as a kid, the best trip would have had to been Florida to Disney World. Like even though when I was 10, I got lost in Disney World. That was some scary shit. But
Jesus, oh my God, man. Yeah, it's crazy because we talked about stuff last week when we was talking about our 20s and stuff, and I was telling a story about how I got not lost but separated from the people I was with in the Tunnel nightclub in New York.
Oh yeah,
to the basement. So that's the story for another. That's the story for another day. But yeah, Disney, same here. Disney, me and my mom as a kid. We flew to Orlando to be with some family. We stayed there, and then she and I went to Disney, and it was just me and her. You know what I'm saying? My father was away at the time, and yeah, man, it's like that was just a dope trip. You know what I'm saying? Like when you're younger, you know what I mean? Like your mom is like your everything. You know what I'm saying to you, and that was like a super dope trip that just me and my mom had a moment to have together and bond and all that type of stuff. So as a kid, yeah, definitely, best trip as a kid for sure.
I think the one. So we went a couple of times when I was younger. We went when I think it was before I hit 10, because when I hit like 10, 11, my mother let us go down to Florida. That's the time I got lost, when we went down to Florida with her friend, and it wasn't her friend's fault, so I don't want my mother yelling at her. But
shout out to Mama Payne.
earlier in like life, like we drove to Florida. Like,
Whew.
yeah, my pops was crazy. He liked to drive like that, so we drove down there. But it was dope seeing like stopping in Virginia, stopping in South Carolina, and stuff like that. So yeah, don't ask me to do that shit now. I do not have the patience or attention span to drive more than 3 hours.
Really?
Yeah.
I still love a good road trip. Yeah, I still love a good road trip. I'm definitely not mad at a good road trip. I still love them. You know what I mean? Like, I get it sometimes. Yeah, you gotta, jump on the plane. With the way shit's been going with planes lately, I've been skeptical on that. But it's almost like that whole thing is like, man, when it's your time, it's your time. It ain't really nothing you can do about that. And I don't think living in fear of something is gonna stop the inevitable, because you can get into a car accident, driving down the street. You know what I mean? So
I shitting on the toilet, so don't matter.
Right.
Time to go. It's your time to go. So.
Hey,
Hey,
yo, what? Yo, you a fool, man. Yo, what?
Final Destination is proof of that. The movie Final Destination. If it's your time to go, it's your time to go. Don't be trying to fight it, because it's gonna come back.
Yeah, definitely. That's a fact. That's a fact. Hank saying, "Okay, as an adult, Houston was crazy." So yeah, what was your fate? What was your best trip you ever taken as an adult?
As an adult, would have had to have been. It was again to. Well, no, I'm sorry. That trip to Mexico. We went to Cozumel. It was my family, but I was in my late 20s, I think, at the time when we went. So we went to Cozumel, Mexico. I was newly single, so I was on the boat, like flirting and doing all this, like, what I mean, just enjoying myself.
Right.
Yeah, so that was probably the most fun I had, and I think it would have been way more fun if I had a better job, because I really didn't have a lot of money to spend. So, but it was
usually on cruises, though, you're usually pretty good. I guess it depends on how much you're trying to do. But on cruises,
oh no, I mean, like when we got to, we stopped in Key West first, and then we went to Cozumel, Mexico. You know what I mean? Like just to buy some souvenirs.
Got you. Okay.
You know what I mean?
How many days?
That cruise, I think, was 4 days. I think it was 4 days. We stopped in Key West. Yeah, I think it was a 3 or 4 day cruise. So it was dope. But the crazy thing is, when we were coming back, Katrina was behind us.
Hurricane?
So, yeah.
Wow.
That boat was going crazy. Like we got on that plane, landed back in Boston. Katrina hit the next day.
Yo, that's fucking crazy, dog.
Yeah.
Wow.
Some scary shit.
Yeah, super. See, but listen, it wasn't your time.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, it wasn't. That's one of those clear situations right there where it was just not your time, yo.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Man, I'm trying to think. I'd say probably the best to this date, best vacation I could think of off the top of my head would probably would have been the first mancation. Probably would have been the first mancation. T Wolf, what up, sis? What's going on? How you? Happy belated again. Happy birthday. Yeah, because that was my first time like on a cruise. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's what made it, like, because I had never been on a cruise before, you know what I'm saying? Like, and it was probably about the same thing, like 4 or 5 days that we was on there, like I think 3 days, 2 or 3 days at sea, and then 2 days you get like off the island to go do different stuff. You know what I'm saying? And,
the captain's dinners be dope too. Like
yo.
I I want to go again. That's another thing why I want to go on another cruise, because like back then I knew how to dress, but I hated dressing and I didn't have a lot of dressy clothes. Like now, like I'm like, yeah, I can be fly, go enjoy myself, hit the casino on the I hit the casino on the boat when I went the first time, but like I just think I'll enjoy it more now than I did then.
You gamble?
Blackjack, really. And now poker, now that I know how to play it.
Nigga, you gamble. I didn't know you gamble. Okay.
Very little. Very little.
Oh, really? Like
what?
what?
The minute I hit negative, I'm like, yeah, I'm out.
So you take out $50 as soon as you lose 25 of it, that's it. The rest of that's in play, and then after that, that's it.
That 50 is in play. That's it. Like if I hit zero, yeah, I'm good. We ain't doing the gamble-holic thing. Let me go back and get 500 more. Nope. Whatever I set aside for me to gamble, once that's gone, we good. Or if I go up like 2,500 and I lose like 300 of it back, I'm like, all right, I see a trend happening here. Let me chill.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, that's just, you gotta just stop yourself and have discipline with all that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, it's cool for a little bit, but then that's it. Boom. But yeah, man, the Bahamas was so fun. It was dope. Like, we had a really good time. We had a really good crew too that was with us. You know, the Wileys, EJ, Capo, Little. Me and Little was roommates. Hightower. I'm trying to think who's we missing.
You and Little was roommates?
Me and Little was roommates. Me and Little was, so can you just
woke up arguing?
Yo, so you already knew what type of time it was, but no, it wasn't obviously that bad. Like we get along, you know what I'm saying? Like we have our moments, but it was like, listen, nigga, hurry up and take a freaking shower. I need to get a shower. Yep. You know what I'm saying? But nah, we had a good time. Actually, all the medications that I've been on, and I only been on I've been on 3, but the cruise ones, me and Little was always roommates. Me and Little was always roommates. Yeah, definitely, man. And the captain's dinner, like we got super, we got doing our stuff. Guys got nice. It was pretty dope. It was really, really dope time. You know what I mean? Well, do you have a dream? I think we was talking about bucket lists earlier. So, like, what are some of the spots like on your bucket list that some trips that you're like, yo, you never been there, you want to go to? And it could be in state or like in the country. You know what I'm saying?
They're actually all out of the country.
Oh, okay.
My top 3 though, Italy is definitely one, because in high school I took 3 years of Italian, and every year they would go to Italy, but it would always be during basketball season, and I wasn't trying to miss the season, so I wouldn't go. So Italy is definitely at the top of the list, just because I missed out on it in high school. Egypt is 2. And it's a tie between Ghana and Japan for 3. Yeah.
No in states that you want to go to?
Not really. I mean, I feel like the in-state stuff I could do anytime. So those aren't like dream places I want to go. Like I've been to New York. I love New York. Been to Miami. Been to Atlanta, to Dallas. I still haven't gone to Vegas or LA yet, and those are on my list. But they're not like dream places. They're just places I want to scratch off my list.
Right. So more so bucket list, not dream. Dream list. So you said Italy, Japan, Egypt, and
Ghana. Like if I'm in the top 3, Japan and Ghana are right there neck and neck. It's like I want to go to Ghana. I've seen so much and heard so much about it. And like there's a lot of countries in Africa that I want to visit anyway.
Yeah.
So that's definitely on the list. And then Japan, just a lot of different things about Japan that I want to see culturally, up close. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Um, man, Italy would definitely be one. I think just for me, from like a cultural standpoint, you know what I'm saying? Like I'd be curious, as a chef and all that, I'd be curious to see what that food scene is like out there and like all of the different things that, you know what I mean, you can learn and just so I think for me, a lot of my dream trips will be based on what the culture could do for me from a culinary standpoint and how I can learn like different things about cooking and all that type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? So Italy's definitely one. Um, China's one, even though I'd be skeptical about some things I'd eat over there, but I'd still be curious to, you know what I'm saying, like some stuff. And plus, I just had like one of my guy B Ball went to China, and he was posting a lot of stuff, and I was like, yo, he was telling me he's like, yo, nah, bro, the food culture over there is crazy. He was like, yo,
Yeah.
he said you would love it. So definitely, Italy, China, Spain.
Yeah.
Um, Spain would be one from a cultural, from a foodie standpoint. That's definitely um, one as well. And then I would probably say somewhere like Thailand. You know what I mean? Thailand would be one again culturally, food wise. I think it was I was talking to um, John DeRosa, who was telling me about it. When he went to Thailand and how he loved it. Like, like he would move out there. You know what I'm saying? Like how much he loved it from a cultural food standpoint. Um, and then another country that I want to visit, like a dream trip, and it's really probably not about food, but Amsterdam. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? I'm a stoner, so I'd want to.
I've heard a lot of things about Amsterdam. Everyone that's been said they loved it. So
Yeah, Amsterdam will definitely be one. In state, I would love to get to, and again for me, it's all foodie stuff. Um, Texas, preferably Houston, or Dallas, and I actually have family in San Antonio, but definitely Texas, um, California. From a food culture standpoint, I watched. Um, there's a Netflix series about chefs, so like food cultures, like from around the world, and California is one of them. And their food truck scene and all that stuff is like really, really dope, super, super dope. So that's something I would love to do. And Chicago, I heard the food scene in Chicago is crazy. So yeah, those three definitely, would are on my list of like places. Again, Florida has a good Florida has a good scene food wise. Atlanta, again, New York, you can never go wrong with that. But yeah, those other ones definitely.
I'm surprised to not hear you say New Orleans as far as.
Oh my God, yes, because I just talked about that the other night. Yes.
Yeah, when Nina was supposed to go down for Mardi Gras, and I was telling her, like, when I go to New Orleans, I have like, I think it was like a list of like 3 things I have to try. I have to try real jambalaya, not the BS that they give us. Beignets, I gotta try those, and like some like crawfish, because I've always been curious.
What's crazy is that I actually got a box of mixed ball. One of my coworkers went to New Orleans, and I say, yo, I'll pay you if you bring me back a box of the beignet mix. I have a box of beignet mix from New Orleans sitting in my cabinet that I never made yet. So I got, thank you, because I got.
So what got me hip to beignets, right? I'd never even heard of them before. One of my favorite TV shows was Once Upon a Time. That used to come on.
Doesn't sound familiar. Once Upon a Time in America?
No, it's just Once Upon a Time. It's basically like fairy tale characters were brought to the real world and they forgot who they were and they have to find out who they are. It's a long story, but it's a good show. But in the last season, the girl that was playing Tiana from The Princess and the Frog was making beignets, and I'm looking at them things and I'm like, yo, them shits look good. I want one of those. So, and I'm not a sweets person, so I was like, yo, I'm definitely gonna make it a point to try them.
Those shits are so bomb. Oh my god, so bomb. Like a little powdered sugar, little salted caramel, or some sort of like chocolate sauce on the side. God,
Yeah.
legendary,
So,
legendary.
aside from like food culture, what other cultural things would you want to try for those places that you named?
Um, outside of the food culture, um, I guess just what it's like to live somewhere else other than what I know.
Mm,
You know what I'm saying? Like just to see what the environment is like. Cause I mean, like, again, it's crazy that is, growing up, like, all you know is Boston, right? Until that first time that you go somewhere else and you're like, oh shit, like, damn it is more to life than just Boston. You know what I'm saying?
mm,
Um, so I guess just experiencing like what it would be like to live or be somewhere else other than like where I'm from. You know what I'm saying? Like that would be the dope thing, especially in a place like Italy. And as I think of like as we sit here talking, I'm thinking of stuff because I'm like, damn, Paris is somewhere that's like,
yeah,
somewhere from a cultural standpoint and like that I would want to see different things and stuff like that.
yeah.
You know, so
I
yeah,
definitely
that would
want
definitely be it.
to.
What about yourself?
So of the places like Italy, I think would have to be multiple trips for me because I want to see Venice. I want to see.
Mm,
I want to go see the Vatican. I want to go to Milan. I want to go to Rome, see the Colosseum.
yeah.
Try the food, of course, like you said. And then I didn't say Spain but Spain is on my list. If I go to Spain, I have to go see a bullfight.
See who?
A bullfight,
Oh,
either a
yes.
bullfight or the running of the bulls. But I ain't running with them motherfuckers. I watch
Yeah.
them from afar.
I was gonna ask you. Yo,
No, hell no, I'm not running with no damn
yeah, I
bulls.
was gonna ask you, bro. Like, if you trying to run with the Bulls, though?
Man, I watch it from afar and laugh my ass off, but I ain't doing that. And of course, with Egypt, it's obvious with the pyramids. Definitely got to go
Right.
see that. Um, Japan it's a lot of different stuff, food stuff. Um, just like their architecture has always intrigued me. In their scenery, a lot of stuff about Japan intrigues me. And then uh, another place I want to go is freaking Brazil for Carnival because I heard it's freaking insane.
Yeah.
Like, yo,
Yeah.
that's craziness. So I gotta,
Yeah.
there's just different touristy stuff that you want to end up doing when you have these places in mind.
So in your opinion, what is the most refreshing part about a vacation? Is it the
It's,
cultural stuff? Is it the like self-discovery stuff? Is it just about resetting and refreshing on like, because again, we usually go on vacations, some are planned, right? But also they're well needed for whatever's going on like in real life. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? So like when you go to travel, like what's one of the things that you're looking to gain the most from it? Is it like resetting for yourself? Is it, what I mean? Like it's we talked about food culture, we talked about all that kind of stuff, but like what is it like most important that you go on vacations for? Not just vacations, but when you get there, like what is it about that? The culture.
that the reset is the most important part for me because like I don't get away much, so I need to make sure I rest, reset. If I want to check out the culture if I can, but if I'm able to go somewhere, I can be fine with just chilling around the hotel and going a couple places here and there and going out to eat and just being away. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
but that the cultural stuff is more. It seems to be more important as I've gotten older, as opposed to when I was younger, and it was just about like going somewhere else and having a blast. You know what I mean? So,
Word. Definitely. Yeah, I agree. Same sentiments. excuse me, when I was younger, you know what I'm saying? Like certain trips I went on, like I was just having like a gang of fun, right? Like talking about, last week talking about the 20s. Like I remember going to like Daytona Beach. Um, and I might have been in high school or like fresh out of high school, something to that effect. But just like this was like 97, 98. It it was like a big culture show. I was like, oh shit. Again, that's when you start, again, you have your little trips to New York, but then when you start going like further and further down 95, and that was a road trip. Me, my brother, my cousin, we went and picked up one of our peoples from New York, drove from Boston to New York, and then from New York to Florida, Jacksonville, Florida on top of that, then to drive to Daytona. Okay, now the epitome of a road trip.
Yeah, that's definitely a road trip. That's
yeah. But going there, it was just like, again, it was like seeing like wow shit. And this was like around the time when like, Freaknik was like all that type of stuff was in play. And it's like the stuff that was going on down in Daytona Beach at that time would get you canceled today. It would be cancel culture like that. It's frowned upon now. That kind of stuff it's not happening, you know what I'm saying, no more. But yeah, like that, those days, it was like, yo, just have a good time, hanging out super late, like getting up, waking up super early, drinking, like all that kind of stuff. To now, going out or going on a trip at in my 40s, it's like, yo, I want to see cultural stuff. I want to see stuff like the Coliseum and just do all like the cool touristy type shit. You know what I'm saying? When you go places, just to make the memories and not be out super late. You know what I'm saying? Like, unless obviously something's going on. But for the most part, like, just getting away from your everyday surroundings is a great thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, it can give you a whole new vibe, like when you come back. You know what I'm saying? Like you say, your energy, like you say, you gotta reset, rest, relax, and kind of like, get back to it. You know what I'm saying? So
it'll definitely get your mindset different. Like I think the turning point for us as a podcast was when we went to Florida and came back. Like everyone's mindset, like, and we didn't even do much when we were down there like that. We went to a comedy show, but most of the time was spent at the house that we rented, chilling, hanging together, having good conversations and making memories together. And it got us I think it got us in a different mindset when we came back and we started moving differently as a group. You know what I mean? And I think that's important, like to reset your mindset while on vacation. Make sure you get that rest, because a lot of people go out of town on vacation, just turn up and come back, and you need a damn vacation from the vacation.
Word.
You know what I mean? So like, you shouldn't. So part of your vacation should be for you to reset.
Yeah, definitely. No, it's funny you say that, talking about Florida, right? When I think about the evolution of Sparring Minds and I think about the beginning and all those points, I think about, the first trip that I took with guys when it was 2015. Again, the cruise that we were talking about, right? So 2015, when we started having conversations about Sparring Minds, it doesn't happen until 5 years later, April 2020, right? Before you got on board with us, we took a trip to. I'm not sure what was happening around the time. I believe you was around, but I don't think you couldn't make it at that time in 2020 with us to my God, why am I drawing a blank with North Carolina?
Yeah.
We went to North Carolina. And that was a good one because to everything you just said, again, it was like a building block. Those times there when it's the fellas was sitting there building up, cooking up. And then a year later, when we went to Orlando, when you came with us, that really like solidified and did a strength of the group and the core, because it was all of us there building, You know what I'm saying? Like we did. I mean, yeah, to your point, we didn't do a lot of stuff, but we got photos in. We got a lot of good stuff. We had the 90s battle, you know what I'm saying? Like, and that fortified the bond, the brotherhood. That really like solidified it right there. You know what I mean? Definitely one of the best trips that I've had, you know what I mean? Because Orlando was fun. You know what I'm saying? Orlando was a vibe. You know what I mean? Because again, you don't have to go out to be on the town to have fun.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and we definitely so many funny stories. The funniest, I mean, to this day, the most legendary, the funniest part of that trip, or one of the funniest parts, is he walking in the glass, bro.
I thought you was about to talk about Little jumping on the white couch.
That's second. That's second.
How the person that wasn't drunk walk into the door is crazy.
Yo, but little jumping on the white couch on some Charlie Murphy type shit. Yo, oh my god, yo. Nah,
those trips are definitely needed.
Yeah, those definitely. I mean, and even though Atlanta was a fun trip too. You know what I'm saying? Like the Hawks game, we had a good time in Atlanta too. You know what I mean? So, definitely important that we took those trips together and built and bonded and all that type of stuff. It was definitely super duper, helpful. So, how often or how necessary are couples trips, guys trips, and girls trips?
Guys trips, I think, are necessary maybe once a year. So guys and girls trips, necessary. I think probably once a year for people. Couples trips, as often as possible. As often as child scheduling, work scheduling, and money allows you to do. You know what I mean? So if you're able to afford it, I'd say shoot for like every other month for a trip. Or every 3 months, like do it quarterly. You know what I mean? Like you got a spring trip, you got a summer trip, you got a fall trip, you got a winter trip. And it doesn't have to be anywhere far. Like you could go spend the weekend in Providence. Nice weekend right there. That's a trip. Go to New York for a weekend. That's another trip. You know what I mean? Nothing super expensive. It's close by. You can spend just a weekend there. And, you know what I mean? So, shit, you might even be, now that I'm thinking about those, it might be more frequent that you should do those.
Yeah. I mean, in New England, like we definitely got a few spots that you definitely can go to. I mean, I remember, I know you told me about when the Healing Circle took a trip to like New Hampshire, with like nice cool time. You rent a cabin, you out in the woods. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think sometimes people think that trips always have to be like extravagant for you to enjoy them, right? And that's such a misconception because you don't need those kind of trips like all the time to freaking like get your, like you said, Providence, nice little overnight, you know what I'm saying, trip. You got like all those spots in like Maine, Vermont. Like when we're just talking about the New England section, you know what I'm saying? Like you can go to Foxwoods if you're into gambling. Go Foxwoods, hang out for the night. Mohegan Sun or something like that. Those are all considered like little trips that you're just getting away from your surroundings for a little bit to like really, really like reset. You know what I'm saying? Like,
and we tend to, and it's not just us. Any state tends to overlook their own state for like go to the Cape.
Yo,
go to Martha's Vineyard.
Dog.
Great time. Like you can just chill out, relax, hang out by the water. Like people, I watch game shows all the time. I watch freaking Wheel of Fortune and Jeopardy all the time. And they be giving away trips to Boston. And my initial reaction, because I live here and take it for granted, I'm like, who the hell wants to come here for what? But there's a lot of shit here that we take for granted. Like, like I said, like the Cape and all that stuff. So go to the Cape for the weekend.
The Cape, I mean, one trip that I think, living here, that I think enough people don't take advantage of, don't do often as they should, is the vineyard.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and again, I hate to like keep harping on it, but I can just go back to that time of being, in Martha's Vineyard for 20 something days. Like, and it was just like, yo, this is crazy. Like how every day people are like this is dope. You know what I mean? Like again, I think it's weather and all that type of stuff that kind of make it better, but it's like, yo, just the scenery, the history of what's going on down there. A person said to me, they're like, yo, in the vineyard, the deeper in the summer it is, the blacker it gets down there.
Yeah.
So they say like August is really like the best time to go to the vineyard. Like July is cool, but what you about to say? Sorry.
No, I was agreeing because that's the same thing I've heard, and plus the Inkwell and all that stuff down there.
The Inkwell Beach, like just the scenery, and again, the one thing about down there though is you're definitely gonna be like in a Uber. If you're going down there, it'd be best to get into an Uber or get some bikes. Don't rent no cars. You know what I mean? Don't rent no cars. You're not gonna find a bunch of places to park. It's definitely not like that. You want to have a bike, or you want to just be in like an Uber or a Lyft. Best way to get around when you're down in the vineyard, man. But it's definitely something necessary that everybody, especially up here, living up here, you should at least go to the vineyard at least one time in the summer. No question about it.
Have you ever had like a life-changing trip? Like you came back and you noticed you were thinking differently, moving differently, or it inspired you to do so when you got back?
Probably that trip I was just talking about. Probably that trip I was just talking about to the vineyard, because I was on a trip. It wasn't just a vacation, right? I was down there as a chaperone, as a coach, mentor, but seeing, and I'd only been to the vineyard one time prior to that, right? And so it got me thinking, just because of, that's really how Kitchen Creators was created before, but it really got my juices and stuff flowing as far as like really wanting to do more with the kids. You know what I'm saying? Like the cooking classes, like all that type of stuff. Like that trip definitely got me going big time. Like as soon as I got back that summer, like I was running programs out of the Gallivan, you know what I'm saying, still like every Saturday. So that trip, I would say, really got me going, like just on my business, all that type of stuff. You know what I mean? What about yourself?
It was my first trip to Miami solo.
Oh shit! Okay.
It was weird. It's like how it all came. Well, it's not weird how it all came about, because at the time I was talking to someone that lived in Miami, so I was just going to visit her. But she had a lot going on at that time. So like we only really got to spend 2 of the days together. The rest of the time I was out exploring on my own, and I'm like, yo, this shit is fucking live down here. I like it. Like, and I wasn't even on the Miami Beach side. I was just like downtown Miami, like chill, like, you know what I mean? By American Airline Arena and stuff like that. And just going around
Biscayne Bay, then, right? I think that's Biscayne Bay.
So I was like, oh yeah, that's where the Heat play, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So I was down there, like just showing myself around, you know what I mean? And I'm like, yo, and I like the pace, I like the vibe. Of course, I love the weather. I hate cold weather. So, and people be like, it's too humid in Florida. I love it. I love the thunderstorms, all that shit. I was like, yo. And then my mother lives in West Palm Beach, so I was like, yo, that trip changed me, because it let me know that's where I want to be. You know what I mean? And that type of environment, weather-wise, that type of pace, you know what I mean? And be closer to my mother. So, like, it changed my mindset. You know what I mean? So that's still the end goal now. Whereas before, I think before I went down there and I really liked it like that, I was fine with staying in Boston for the rest of my life.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see my story ending here. You know what I'm saying? In Boston, I'm not sure where exactly. Maybe somewhere in the South. You know, but definitely, I'm not. I don't see it ending here for sure. You know what I mean? And that would be a while from now because obviously I think my daughter graduating high school and going to college would change things dramatically for me. You know what I'm saying in terms of what, but I would still want to be like somewhere close to her. So let me scratch that. It's probably when she get out of college.
Yeah, I was gonna say because you mess around and move down to where she's at in college and she don't want to stay there. She goes somewhere else. You'll be like, damn, I moved all the way down here and you don't want to stay.
Right. No. That's a great point. But yeah, I don't see it ending here. But I mean, I would encourage people, especially young folks in particular. You know what I mean? If like, yo, travel, man. I tell my kids, man. Like, another thing. How are you traveling as far as like with your children, and what's that like? What was, you know what I'm saying? Like, as far as
I
like, when you first introduce them and get them like into traveling and like just put that mindset in them as far as like, yo, as your young ladies are getting older, whatever, like make sure you travel if you get a chance to.
I encourage them to, like, I've told like my youngest, she wants to have a child, but I told her, like, go do everything you want to do before you have one. You know what I mean? Travel as much as you want and all that stuff like that. They've been places. I don't think they've traveled as much as they want, but they have traveled and they do enjoy it. So I am not going to discourage them from traveling. Like, even if they decide, oh, I want to move to another state, I'm not going to discourage them. Like, I don't want them to be boxed in mentally and culturally. You know what I mean? Like, go see something else. You might love it, you might not, and you might come back. Who knows?
Word.
So,
But don't be afraid to go and try experience culture. Yeah. No, that's definitely the same thing I tell mine. Definitely see the world as much as possible. She's still young, you know what I'm saying? So just trying to get her into it like early, you know what I mean? I thank God that she got involved with this great mentoring program. And they took the girls last summer to New York for like 3-4 days. And just had a really good time culturally. Like a lot of stuff that we were talking about doing, like her program, like they have these things set up for the girls to do that makes it like, not just about fun but enriching in terms of them learning different stuff like that. And they go to Atlanta this summer, you know what I'm saying? Like, and and she's like super adamant about it and she's into it. So I'm just like, yo, I'm gonna just keep, just encouraging, pushing that button, like, yo, listen, when you get opportunities, man, to travel, man, please do so as a young lady, because you got the jump start on me as far as when I started traveling. You know what I'm saying? And I'm encouraging you, each time if something comes up, let us know ahead of time and we'll, pay to make sure you can go and experience stuff. You know what I mean? Like, definitely got to experience cultures more. And I said, yo, the world is much bigger than Boston. You know what I mean? Don't get yourself caught up in thinking like this is all you got. Like, no, there's a whole other world out there that as a young lady that you're going to have to explore. Now, again, I'm always want you to be cautious and careful and weary of the people you with, because we've seen some things of where young ladies can go on trips and shit can go left, or she can, you know what I mean? So we don't want to even put that out there, but you just still want to have them prepared for anything, you know what I'm saying? Like, not just go out there like sheep, just thinking nothing can happen, because you know what I mean? It definitely can if you're not careful.
So before we get out of here, right?
Mhm.
I just thought about it just now. Nowhere, you can't name somewhere in the U.S. If you can move to live to another country, where would you go?
If I could move to a country, man, Canada.
Really?
Canada.
You gonna move to the cold willingly?
Canada. Canada. I mean, because I've been in Canada, you know, I mean, as a kid going with the elite school and all that type of stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And I like Canada. I like Montreal. Canada was done. It was so fun. If I could pick somewhere hot, like I know you won the heat wave type stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably crazy, but I'd probably say Jamaica.
Okay.
I'd probably say Jamaica.
Like
What about you?
There's a lot of countries in Africa that offer dual citizenship that I look at. I can't think of which ones they were offhand, but I was reading something about it before, and I'm like, yeah, that probably would be it. Because I'm just like, they want us to come home, man, and they don't, and we ain't welcome here. So shit, it's sounding better and better every time.
Motherland, is that what it is?
Yeah. You know what I mean? And with my name going over there, they probably think I'm from. Well, nah, the light skin, they probably be like, "Oh no, he's mixed with colonizer." But yeah, nah. My sister definitely probably knows that list by heart, which countries offer dual citizenship. So I'll just be like, "Yo, which ones are they?" And let me start researching so I can get the hell out of here.
Word up. Shout out to sis, man. Oh man, well, we get to that final time, man. Any parting shots you want to say before we get up out of here? Shout outs, anything of that nature.
Yeah, shout out to everybody that tuned in, Jamila, Rich, Hank, Mike, Drew, even though he did say Dorchester Ever, kudos to him for that, but I ain't posting that OTL comment he put up there because he's playing my guys. So
right.
You know, it is what it is. But shout out to everybody that checked in. D, Tashiana from and Polka, all from Fem Freaks. Make sure y'all check them out on Mondays at 7:30. And then everybody on the network, Grove Hall Sunday. So y'all gonna have something to watch every day. Grove Hall's on Sundays. We Today. Fem Freaks is on Monday. We giving y'all Saturday off, so find something to do with yourself.
No, what they can do with themselves if they want to is they can go on YouTube and check out some episodes of Turnbuckle Talk, because that is where season 1 is at. So they can go check some of that out. Yeah, man. And we just gonna keep giving you guys more dope content from the network. We're building and building. We appreciate everybody rocking out. Shout out to the rest of the team, man. Enjoying their Friday night. You know what I mean? Love is love. Capo, Little, HT. You know what I'm saying? And we'll be back here next Friday night with another banger as we are in our prime, man. TSMP Friday nights.
Peace.
You already know. Marcus. I'm about to go watch all